I think I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes now, trying to figure out the best way to approach this topic. Different angles, different hooks, different storylines to hopefully make what I'm trying to explain interesting. But in my journey with content, with making YouTube videos, I've learned time and time again that being genuine is the thing that I value the most in other people and in myself. So this is not the best hook, and this will not be the best storyline, but I want to tell you about my journey with grind culture, where I stand now, where I've been, what's impacted me, and how I'm changing my life moving forward. If we were to go back 6 or 7 months ago, you would likely find me here in my home, in my apartment, at my desk, staring at my computer, working on God knows what. It's 3:30 p.m. right now, so that probably means that I had sat down early in the day to start working on whatever I was building, whatever I was digging into, big ideas. And alongside that, I was probably ignoring other values and priorities in my life. I wasn't reaching out to friends. I was rejecting invitations. I was forgetting what really fulfills me and what I truly value in life and want to get out of it on a daily basis. All of that in pursuit of the grind, in pursuit of the lifestyle that I thought would lead me to the most success. Now, why did I think that? Well, it's because that's the content that I was consuming and still consume sometimes. It's the building in public, it's the entrepreneur content that is teaching people that in order to reach the highest heights and to have success and fulfillment and money, you have to push everything else out. You have to be incredibly selfish and say, I'm going to do this with or without all of you. I'm going to focus on my work and going to the gym, and that's it. Any other values are out the window. And with that, the idea is that, well, once you make it, then you'll be able to focus on those things. This lifestyle did not come easily to me, and that's because it doesn't align with me. But if you go back to other videos on my YouTube channel, you'll find videos that very much so represent this sort of lifestyle and this aesthetic. And it truly is, because at the time, that's what I thought was correct. I felt like with the goals I had, that was the best path forward. Now, that lasted some months, probably 6 months or so, where I was head down, working very long hours, very late nights, nonstop. And I was very focused inward. So whatever was within these walls around me, that's what mattered. And I really put barriers between myself and everything else in my life. Now, what led me to see the light was I had a bit of a crash and burn. Now, this crash and burn did not come with failure. It came with a burnout. And it came with a burnout that I couldn't understand and that I didn't even recognize at first. I remember when the first cracks started to show, and I was having a moment that people talk about often, but I would say I was having it on a small scale. And that is when you achieve something that you'd been working toward for a long time, and you get there and nothing changes. You feel the same. And I had one of those moments when I launched 2 new businesses within, I think, like the same week or two. And I'd been working on them at least all year. I think started them like last fall. So it'd been a pretty long time coming. And I really felt like these were going to change my life. And they likely still will. But in this moment, I launched these businesses. They got off the ground. They had decent starts. But I didn't feel any different. And I'd experienced this before, and I had read all about it. So I felt like I knew that your life doesn't change overnight like that. I knew that once you reach your goals, it's not like the world shifts around you. But still in that moment, it caught me off guard. Now let's talk about the other cracks that started to show. One was the rapid adoption of AI and the push and pull within me around AI, where I've always been an early adopter for technology, but where I also very much so value the planet that we live on and understand the impact of massive data centers on the communities that they're placed in, often rural and impoverished communities. And I was really struggling to kind of grapple with that, especially as the communities I was in online so readily adopted these technologies without considering the end result of that. Now, I'm not going to get farther into that AI discussion because the impact on literacy and education and things like that I care a lot about. But the point is, there was tension building between the lifestyle that I was living, the content I was consuming, and who I am to my core. The next crack to emerge was pretty depressing, and it happened while I was thinking about death. I was thinking about the very basic notion that you never know how long you have. And I thought about how I was living life on a daily basis, where I was pushing people away from me and I was focusing in, and I considered my work to be the only thing that mattered. And I considered how I would live differently if I knew that I was on an extremely limited timeline. What would I do on a daily basis? What would I seek fulfillment from? What would I try to offer up to the world and contribute? And all of these cracks really broke down my entire lifestyle, my entire perspective on what fulfillment means to me and what's necessary to achieve success. And it also led me to truly resent the culture that I had been consuming and contributing to, which is the grind culture. There are good people who partake in this culture online. I'm not denying that. But the overall concept just doesn't align with who I am as a person and what I want to achieve in my life. It's that idea of reaching the top of the mountain and looking around to realize that you're alone. I would rather reach the top of a smaller mountain and look around and see my community around me, see my friends and family, and feel loved and supported, and feel like I have loved and supported them throughout my entire journey. So right now, my focus is kind of unwiring those parts of my brain, keeping the things that are good, the work ethic and the ambition and things like that, but removing the things that are not serving me and putting new ideas in their place. On a day-to-day basis, it's a matter of finding a balance between being ambitious and pushing toward my goals, but also nurturing those relationships that I have in my life, taking care of myself and my brain. But here's what really matters and what you'll care about. Ever since I started to change my lifestyle and my perspective and my approach to align more with me and my values, I have become more successful. I've been getting more opportunities, been making more money, and overall I'm happier because instead of staring at a screen and obsessing over what I haven't accomplished and what I haven't earned and consuming content that made me feel like I was lesser than, I can look around and feel proud of what I've done. I can feel aligned with myself, and that energy only brings more abundance to me. So I hope this made sense and maybe it resonated with you. I'm sure that I'll figure out better ways to communicate this journey probably right after I post this video, but I'll share much more as my perspectives and my lifestyle continues to evolve.